You know, I just filmed, like, just 2 weeks ago, just filmed the final part for Blonde Ambition. And so coming back this soon, I was like, oh my god. Maybe she's getting her shit together. So, today we're covering book 4, Tall Cool One, by Zoe Dean. An A-list novel. So, if you have to ask, you'll never be on. Anna needs a timeout from all her boys, and Sam's hunting for a good one to love. So together they make a getaway to Las Casinita, Mexico, the super luxury spa where Angelonians go to get more sun. They spend the week water skiing and scuba diving, saloning, and yes, smooching with boys. Then a crazy lunch lands them in a deserted mansion, and suddenly their vacation switches from an indie road trip movie to a search and rescue blockbuster. I read this one, it took me a while because it was kind of boring. It was kind of bad. And like I had read Goodreads reviews when I like scanned it into my thing. Also, I'm on Storygraph now. Link will be in the description. So I had read it and it was just kind of boring. And then I got trapped in the store, but I didn't have power for 3 days. The only thing you can do is read the books you've been putting off reading. I think I ended up liking this one. I don't remember. It isn't negative. I don't have negative feelings about it. I actually do. I really like the A plot, which is Sam and Anna. But the B plot's kind of stupid. The B plot is that Kimmy has decided to go steady with Adam. She's been released from, it's been a couple of weeks. We are now in like spring break area of time. No, not spring break. A little bit before spring break. It's still cold in LA, but not like massively cold. Kimmy has decided that she looks at Adam Flood and is like, I want you biblically. But he's a sweet boy, and he's never done no sex before. So and so she keeps trying to jump him, and he keeps running away from it. He talks to his dad, and he's like, Dad, am I ready for sex? And his dad's like, you should only have sex with someone if you love them. Okay. And he's like, Dad's always right. Okay. So they go about doing stuff. They're all being kind of shitty to one another. So, like, Sam is here, and she's feeling pretty garbo. Poppy, or her bitchy stepmother, is about to give birth, and she's feeling really neglected. Her dad is just avoiding her. And so, like, they go to a whole-ass party, and Sam gets snubbed by this guy. She finds this guy out for being a fucking creep. And she abandons the B plot. And Cammy lies to this girl and is like, oh yeah, we can't get off of each other. His dick is so big and he's so good at sex. And so then the rest of his plot is that he can't figure out why everyone's congratulating him and being like, yeah, sick neat dog, woo! Because they think he's got a pain. They finally hook up, maybe, and then they join the A plot. You might be going, Megan, what's the A plot? This book made me have to really contemplate updating the teen book parent power ranking. Because we've got an entire cast of stinkers. Like, would it be worth it for me to do that? Because all of them are now at the bottom of the ranking. I don't know. I'm probably still gonna do it when I finish these books, but God, this whole book was just filled with all the clunker parents at their most clunker. Anna comes home. I can't get too deep in it too, because I'm gonna go into deep dive in the second part of this and explain some quotes and plot points that way. Anna's dad. Anna comes home and Anna's mom is there. Anna comes in and finds her father and her mother together sipping martinis and mimosas. because they have decided to make back up. They've decided not to make back up, but they can still get along with one another with alcohol involved. And I'm thinking, what about Margaret? And then Anna's thinking, God, what about Margaret? And then we never think about Margaret again. I'm 2 books on. I haven't heard Margaret's name except for when I go back to write these. I'm like, who is that irrelevant bitch? They get together, they're drinky. Susan's coming home. Oh, and Mom is in town so that she can welcome her back, because they all make decisions without their kids' consent, and then they're surprised when their kids are miserable. Sure, I guess. I'm pondering. I'm thinking. Anna is like, you know, all Anna can think about before this is how much she is like her mother. And being faced with her mother face to face, she finds that she's not like her mother anymore. She can make her own decisions. She's not just a harsh, waspy woman. She's like a people. And her own people, for that matter. She can make different decisions and not feel the need that she is absolutely self-destructing. How cosmopolitan. Her mom's there. They go to meet up with Susan at the airport. They get to the airport. Susan never arrives. Anna calls Susan. Susan's like, girl, fuck our parents. I'm going to upstate New York. And it's like, worm. Heard. No notes. So she goes there, and Anna's still stuck with her parents, and she wakes up the next morning and her parents come out of the same bedroom, and Anna's like, what happened to Margaret? And we're like, girl, don't know. So Anna's like, God, my parents are hooking up. Are they gonna get back together? Are we gonna be a better family together? You know, Susan's like learning from herself, and maybe she can go and get help, and really, like, we could all come back together better. We'd all be better than we've been. Her dad is like, Anna, take a week off of school and go check out this business property for me with one of my colleagues. He's a young guy. You'll like him. Anna is now going down to this fictitious resort, which I'll tell you the name of the next time I see you. Hates this guy. This guy sucks. Go down to this resort, feel it out, tell me how you feel when you come back. It's this luxurious resort that's hot, sexy, young. And she has to go down there with this guy. And this guy sucks dick. And like part of the reason why like the first fourth of the book is unreadable, because this guy is such a charisma hole, and that's his whole point. But like, I don't want to be subjected to this. She goes down there. They drive because this guy's like, it's the same amount of time and I don't have to go through LAX. Fuck that guy. She goes down there with him. He's the only male that's under 30 that she's interacted with that didn't become a love interest. He's 25 with an MBA and he's an asshole. And he kind of flirts with her, but he goes and gets his own Love Shack honey going on. So like, own Love Shack fancy going on. So like, we just have to keep coming into contact with this fucking square. It's not even like he's gonna turn her into her dad or something. He's just a square for the fun of it. So motherfucker is annoying. Anna leaves him. Anna's like, her overarching plot is like, I should be having more casual sex with people that aren't Ben. It's healthy, it's good, and it will make me not a square like my mom. She gets down there with like the idea that she is gonna get some D. No more thinking about the B. It's only time for D. So she gets down there, there's a surf instructor, and like the whole deal with the resort is it's like White Lotus, where like all your greatest passions and fantasies can come true if you're willing to pay. And she's willing to pay because she's not paying, her dad's company's paying. So she hangs out with this guy, and like it's kind of implied that he's not that into her, maybe, but that he is, because every man is attracted to Anna for whatever reason, which is annoying and gross. But they like, he makes eyes at her, and she's gonna sleep with him. And then Sam shows up, joining the A plot, and she's like, oh my god, that guy that you're over there with is a square. That guy's hot. Oh my god, I'm gonna be free and not hate my body. When I'm separated from Cammy, I can finally feel free and safe in my body. Ain't that weird? But she is like, I'm gonna be free. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna feel good. And so she strips down to go naked birding in the ocean, and this guy is on a raft and he sees her and is like, she like calls him to fuck off from the shore, covers her body. He finds her the next day. New B plot, B.1. Plot is that Sam, like, this guy just like uses all the ways the resort will, you know, make your fantasies come true, to like give her this awesome tennis date, and then this other date, and then this date where they ride on horses and go eat dinner in the jungle, and he's like, meet me at this restaurant, and we rejoin up with Anna's B plot, A plot, which is that she is like, I'm not gonna be like my mom, I'm gonna release, I'm gonna have fun. They go into town in Mexico. So she goes into town with Sam. Sam buys the piece of art. They like fandangle it. They're feeling funky, fresh, and free. And so they go to this restaurant, and Sam has her buy this bottle of mezcal with a scorpion that makes you, it's so chock full of alcohol, it makes you trip. Anna and her argue back and forth about the logistics of if it would actually make someone trip. And then they actually trip as Anna fucking bites the head off of her, off of the scorpion. And she eats the scorpion head off. She's like, whoa, I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Me too. And Sam is like, girl, you're not gonna trip alone, and proceeds to knock back like 6 shots in a row. Dicks to face. Just knocking back shots. And we get pushed forward into the future. The 2 dumb bitches are like, we can't stay in here, we're gonna keep drinking, and wander out into the desert. So they've wandered out into the desert. They're laying in the desert. Anna's like, time, lizard. Yoink! Rips watch off, throws it into whatever. They traverse deeper into the desert following a lizard. They're laying out in the desert when the trip finally begins to release a little bit, and Anna and Sam are in the middle of the Mojave Desert tripping, and they are naked with no money, no cell phone. They threw their cell phones into the desert as well. They're not naked. They were not naked that time. They go about that, and then Anna's sobering up and is like, I got too loose. I don't like this anymore. So she goes about getting out of the situation by sneaking into a house they find in the middle of the desert. It's raining. It's about to rain. They sneak into this man's house. It's empty. They drink wine and wear his fancy clothes, and they get a little drunk again because they're stupid and 17. They feel a lot better. They wake up in the middle of the night and they hear people moving around. Panic. Oh my god. Panic. They put on their clothes. The Mexican police find them. Let's go to A plot, subsection B.2. Jackson Hole has an interview with Leno. He needs his family to be there to look good and happy. Can they do it? 17-year-old daughter, where are you? Not at the baby shower. Shit, where are you, you bitch? Oh my god. Hey, I didn't mean to call you a bitch. I'm really sorry about it. I'm becoming worried. Don't forget about Leno tonight. I'll see you later. Hot young wife, where is my older daughter? You don't know. She wasn't at the baby shower. Did you call someone? No? Shit. So dumb. And it's like, all of my daughter's friends? Where is my daughter? You also can't hear from other daughter's friend? Oh! I guess I better do something about that. Get me to my daughter on this private plane. I'm missing Leno for this. Jackson comes in. Is like, where's my daughter? I'm a movie star. He gets her back. And is actually like parenting and is like, I miss you. You can tell me when you're feeling missed. I was worried, like he parents. And this has got Anna thinking, oh my god, where's my dad? You know, you kind of get like a dose of like, you know, I think Anna came in thinking, oh, my dad is the worst. Mom was right. And then as she's been away from her mom, seeing the consequences of how her mom decided to parent her sister has led her to kind of be like, mom sucks too, maybe dad's not that bad. This book has both her parents sucking on both ends. The mom just shows up and uses her dad, and her dad can't stop himself from being used by a woman that he knew was going to hurt her, because they went up in the D plot to a cabin in Northern California to like relive the glory days, and it turns out you can't relive the glory days with someone who kind of hates your guts. Our parents suck, and that's kind of the note we end this story on, is like, damn, Sam's dad was really pretty cool, and like Sam's a really good friend, and I'm glad to have her in my life. But like my dad still really sucks, and I can't depend on him for anything, anyway, anyhow, emotional or otherwise. This guy stinks. Which I think is really interesting. Hi, I'm back to do more A-list. I think this is all what's important right now. I will add things as they become relevant. It has been, I believe, 2 months since I sat down to talk about Tall Cool One, and I honestly can't remember what I said. I do have tabs, and I explained generally what the plot was. So we're just gonna run through my tabs and the back of the book, discuss this fuck-ass book. So, at the end of Blonde Ambition, Anna gets fired from working with Cammie's dad. She gets her job back. She gets fired from working with Cammie's dad because Cammie lied and said that Anna leaked to the press that the lead for his new show was a white supremacist. And so Anna proves that with the help of Cammie's bitchy stepsister, who is literally 13. Can a 13-year-old be bitchy? We've had this discussion. I'm unclear. Can a 13-year-old be bitchy? I think I have some proof positive. But she's friends with Danny Bluestone, a Jewish writer. On my list, I have our main female characters and our main male characters. I cannot remember Cammie's love interest. I have him down as Luke, but his name is not Luke. And I have him down as Matt, and his name is Matt, not Matt. I keep wanting to say Jamie, but I know his name is not Jamie. So let's add to the list of men that are attracted to Anna, Danny B. You hear sounds in the background. It's Doorbug. So, Anna no longer works with Danny. Danny's like, oh my god, come back and work. And she's like, no, I don't actually want to work for that terrorist. And so they decide to still be friends. And they've got such aggressive sexual tension. And she's like, I'm not with Ben anymore. So I guess I'm going to be with Danny Bluestone. Or I'm not going to be with anyone. I'm going to be free. No more men. It's like, okay, girl, sure, bestie. So Anna goes to the beach with Danny and is trying to learn how to surf, which is representative of Anna and her need to control everything. You can't control everything in the surf. And thus, okay, goodbye. No, Dora, you can't leave. You can't. Oh, what the fuck did you step on? I cannot spell. But you cannot control everything and orchestrate things. Metaphor with surf and love. The ocean pushes and pulls you like your partners do. You should trust them. Oh, she hasn't been in my office in a couple of days, so she's exploring. Woo! Chicken. She's not interested. That's valid. That's a lot. So they're on the beach, and Danny is, while like heavily flirting with Anna, also oogling girls at the beach. He's a dog. I respect it. He's also 23 years old, and is a wunderkind, and it's like, is also like many years older than Anna. What are we doing? Oogling other women, and he's just like, oh yeah, I was with her once, would have been with her, liked her titties, and he's so free about it, and Anna is just like, ugh. I don't think casual sex is necessarily bad, she insists. I'm letting you out of baby jail I'm springing you. She smiles at him. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time, Danny. You're not her type. Oh, on the contrary, he replied. I know her, but I never thought I'd see her here. Ooh. Anna did a mental rewind. Danny's wow had been a wow of recognition. She took a casual sip of her juice. How's that? Just then, the girl noticed Danny and waved. Danny waved back. She lives in Santa Barbara. We hooked up at a party in, Ojai? O-J-A-I. I recognize the word. Never said it out loud. Anna watched the girl trying to picture her with Danny. You mean just for one night? He nodded. You're shocked. Anna shook her head. Danny laughed. Yeah, you are. Because you were the last girl on the planet to go for a hit and run. I'm making your parent pay for my papers if you fucked it up, Dora. He took another slug of his drink and patted her hand. The gesture struck her as patronizing, even if what he said was true. I don't think casual sex is necessarily bad, she insisted. Danny cocked an eyebrow at her. Yeah, you do. No, I really don't. Really? Okay then. Check out the beach. Danny propped himself up on one elbow. Point to a hypothetical one-night stand candidate, myself included. You're my friend. I already know you, Anna pointed out. So by definition, you do not qualify. Ever hear of friends with benefits? She frowned. He mimed sticking a dagger into his heart and then extracted it. Just covering my bases. Anyway, it's better when you don't know the person too well. Out of town is primo. Anna took a moment to ruminate on the concept of sex for its own sake. She keeps wanting to step on my laptop, which informs me that I should move my laptop. I think I've saved myself. She wanders the eye, looking around. He shrugged again. Trust me, Anna, some girls don't care. They're in it for the bouquet, just as much as the guy is. Anna thought about it for a moment. So did you regret it afterwards, sleeping with her? Nope. It didn't feel sleazy, empty, meaningless. Danny wriggles his eyebrows. That's the fun part. She told you that? I'm just being honest. If both people know exactly what the expectations are, meaning none, exactly, no one gets hurt. Want another juice? Anna struggles with control. So, God, kind of my favorite bit about this is the fact that, like, all Anna's moms ever taught her that she could control is herself. But that also means that Anna can't control her mother. And her mother's ability to still hurt her. It's tight. Dora! Tell the people! Tell the people to subscribe, Dora. Miss Bug. You know, she's actually not asshole to face with me right now. Her asshole is like right over my shoulder. So even if I look down, she's moved. She's moved. I spoke asshole into existence. Oh, I have no rhythm. You know what she doesn't do after I finish petting her? Lick herself and groom herself. She does not find me to be fake and gross. It's now been 2 books since it has now been a book since Girls on Film, in which Susan, Anna's sister, who is an alcoholic, had her little falling out. Anna comes home from pondering casual hookups to find her parents are there, and they are talking. Her previously messy divorced parents are talking and are pleasant and seem to like each other. They're all there in the service of Susan coming home from rehab. It's been a couple of weeks. They show up. It was her father, Jonathan Percy, and her mother, Jane Cabot Percy, together on the living room couch. Thankfully, they weren't doing anything more than drinking martinis from crystal stemware and chuckling over some private jokes. But not only were Anna's parents divorced, they were also as far as Anna knew up until this moment, didn't speak to each other. In fact, they hadn't been in the same room in approximately 5 years, and the last time they had been at Manhattan divorce judge chambers, flanked by their battery of high-priced lawyers. "It's a surprise, sweetie," Jonathan explained. "Susan's being released from rehab today." "She is?" This was news to Anna. Her older sister wasn't supposed to get out of the world-famous Sierra Vista Drug and Alcohol Rehabilitation Facility in Arizona until next week. This was her second stint in rehab in as many months. Susan had come to LA in June. Anna noticed that the crystal martini pitcher was now nearly empty. She doubted the most encouraging way for her parents to reunite with newly sober Susan was Tanqueray gin and vermouth on their breath. "Would you like coffee before we go?" Anna said pointedly. "You worry too much, Anna," her mother replied tersely. "You always have." "Your sister has to live in a world where people drink socially," her father added, "even if she can't." "We can do drive-through coffee bean on the way if y'all want," a voice drawled in from the front door. "Oh my god, it's Django!" He rejoins the plot momentarily. But then Django gets a hot new piece, and Anna's feeling really uncomfortable about the idea that everyone's casually hooking up except for her, because she's technically single. Ooh, woo! Anna's dad is this one. We understand this. We're gonna need to know this. So Anna's dad is kind of like, "Oh my god, daughter of mine, you want to, for some reason, go and do this work again?" This is reason number 362 of why couldn't this book be set just a year forward and they be in college? Because why would I send my high school age daughter in high school on her day off to go to parent-teacher conferences and tour colleges, to go and tour a rental property that my company is looking to acquire with my adult coworker? We kind of return back to the issue I have where this book feels like it's written by 2 different people. Because why on God's green earth are we going to meet Grown Man 2? You cannot read this, but I need this. Grown Man 2, who we know is 25 with an MBA. Like, Anna tried to tune them out by thinking about Susan. If there was some way to prepare her sister for her welcoming committee. She had Susan's cell phone number, of course, but she'd have to call just after the plane landed, before Susan spotted the family trio. She'd also have to find a way to do it out of her parents. "Anna," Jonathan asked, interrupting her thoughts, "would you like to go along?" Anna craned around towards her dad. "Go along to where?" "To this resort. I'm sending an associate next week to do a final inspection." Anna was taken aback. "Why me? I could use another set of eyes that I trust." Didn't you say that you have Friday off for teacher conferences? It wouldn't hurt to miss a few days of school." She was shocked that he remembered, and then she hesitated. Getting away from the Jonathan and Jane show would be a pleasure. But how could she possibly go to Mexico just when her sister had gotten out of rehab? Susan was going to need Anna's help to stay sane and sober, especially if both parents were in visual disapproval distance. So Anna knows her parents are no good for her sister. And you know who also knows that Anna's parents are no good for her sister? Anna's sister. When Anna returned from the bathroom, she had met by visibly stressed Jane. "Anna, where could your sister possibly be?" Anna looked at her watch and was astonished to realize that they had been waiting for almost 20 minutes. Just be patient, Jonathan assured his ex-wife. Jane shook her head. No, she should be at baggage claim already. That's one for the flight from Tucson. Look at all those people. She pointed to the second Delta carousel. There were plenty of passengers gathered around it. The last of their baggage was coming down the chute. Jonathan, I don't think Susan was on that plane. Susan was on that plane. She contacts Anna and is like, oh my god, I saw these bitches and thought that's crazy. I will not be joining the Buku circus, and I will be heading off to a yoga retreat in upstate New York, where she belongs. So back with Sam. Sam has been doing crash dieting in an attempt to be beloved by her father as we are entering the final stretch of his child bride's pregnancy. I call her child bride because she's like 21. Jackson Sharp. Jackson Sharp doesn't really recognize anything that isn't himself. Sam has really become close with Anna, referring to her as her first pick when trying to go shopping, as opposed to Cammie. Adam. Boyski's name is Adam. Adam and Anna was such a flittering nothing burger that is insane that we are still thinking about. Adam and Cammie are now officially a thing. And they are in love. They are figuring out if they are just cute, hot for each other because of Cammie's hatred of Anna, or they really like each other, which they were friends before Anna came around. And Cammie was really attracted to the fact that he lives such a normal life. He's such a normal boy. So normal. So normal, Dora. With Anna and Cammie off the list, Sam dialed Dee. Dee, the third member of Cammie, Sam, and Dee's triumvirate, was always good for shopping expeditions, even though her burgeoning new age woo-woo spaciness tended to drive Sam nuts. But Dee's housekeeper said that Dee was at Kabbalah Center for a special lecture visiting scholar from Israel. Ooh, maybe Sam would want to meet her there. Oh. No, Sam had zero interest in Jewish mysticism, so she went solo to Fred Siegel, where she purchased 3 cropped and fitted Christian LaCroix jackets that would look cute with jeans, a Stacey Reed wrap skirt that hid her hips, and a pair of red leather Valentino bootcut pants. Since she needed new footwear to go with the red leather pants, she picked up some from Via Spaga with the brown suede boots and a lethal-looking pair of black-studded leather Armani heels to fit for a dominatrix. Sam rushed home to try on all of her new clothes. In the white-on-white living room, she found her very pregnant 21-year-old stepmother, Poppy Sinclair Sharp, on the white leather couch with her friend Dee Young. Weird. Poppy and Dee didn't really know each other beyond a hello, goodbye, Sam's upstairs kind of thing. But here was diminutive Dee, baby-faced and blue eyes shining, sitting in the Lotus position. Dark-haired Poppy was doing half Lotus, barely managing due to her very pregnant belly. They were both giggling like 12-year-olds. Hi, Sam! Dee sang out when she saw her friend. I've been trying to help Polly into position, but Ruby Hummingbird just keeps getting in the way. Ruby Hummingbird was the name Poppy had selected for her soon-to-be-born bundle of joy. After much consultation with a spiritualogist, numerologist, and Topanga Canyon, Sam found the name very affected, but knew the kid would fit in fine in a town where girls were named Rumor, Coco, and Apple. Poppy invites Sam to touch the baby because it's moving around a lot, and Dee steps on the moment and takes the feel of the baby, and Sam feels iced out that even in her own family unit, she is not the preferred daughter, sister, friend even to anyone. And Dee, who is an only child, only gets this kind of attention through earned action as a friend, but she's overstepping a little bit on this baby. It's not her sibling. It's not anything other than her friend's baby, kinda. Sam resolves to call the baby Ruby Hummingbird the Hummer, and I love that. So Cammie and Adam are together, and their big plot point is that her and Adam Flood, she wants to hook up with Adam Flood real bad. She's never waited this long to hook up with a man, and she wants him real bad. And then she realizes he's a virgin. Their entire plot point revolves around that. I don't even care to really delve into it. other than the fact that she's in love with a virgin. So Susan finally calls Anna and is like, hey, I've made it to Albany. I'm safe. Don't worry about it. Anyway, Raj says Kuripalu could totally change his life. But then why was he in rehab? Hey, chill on the judgments, Anna, Susan admonished. Then her voice softened. People like Raj, like me, there's this thing inside of us that we've got to fight our whole lives. Sometimes we don't win that fight. I understand. Anna didn't, really, but God knows she was trying. Because Anna is a judgmental bitch. Understand what? Jane asked impatiently. She held out her slender arm. Give me the phone, Anna. Anna shook her head at her mother. You do what you have to do, Suze. I can think up here, Anna. I hope. Susan laughed nervously. Hey, listen, do me a favor. Can you explain to Mom? You should talk to her, Suze. She came all the way from Italy. Forget it. Then Susan softened. Later. I promise. Anna, tell her that. I'll call you in a week or so, okay? And them too. Okay, I guess. Love you, baby sis. Love you too. Anna clicked off, turning to her parents. She said she promises to call you guys in a week. Her mom rubbed her temples with her elegant French manicured finger and sighed. Her promises are meaningless, Anna. Surely you know that by now. If that's how you feel, then why did you bother to come? Anna asked her. Defending her big sister was a habit. Anna had been the dependable one, Susan a flake. But even at her flakiest, Anna still loved her. Jane's chin jutted upwards. I was willing to give her another chance. Are you going to fault me for that? No. Jonathan patted his ex-wife's arm. I'm glad you're here, Jane. Why don't we just give Susan a little time to sort things out? Sure, why not? Jane asked rhetorically, but Anna could see that she wasn't at all convinced. Ben calls her from Princeton. Ben, their lust on the airplane had quickly turned into so much more, but it couldn't be love, could it? Wasn't love something that happened over time, when you really got to know the other person? Everything with Ben had been so tumultuous, and had happened so quickly. Maybe they were a fire destined to burn each other out, intense lust masquerading as more. Honestly, Anna didn't know. Sam comes home and finds that she wakes up in the morning and finds that Dee and Poppy have repainted the guest room that Sam's grandparents tend to use when they come to visit, which they haven't in a while. Her grandfather's shirts that he kept there were in there. All sorts of things. I think she's perceiving herself in the mirror. No. What the fuck? No. So, like, Poppy's painting the bedroom. She's, like 2 weeks out from her due date. And she insists on painting this baby nursery. And Sam's like, that seems crazy. Sam rolled her eyes. She knew that there was already a betting pool run by assistants around Hollywood over how long the Jackson-Poppy marriage would last. The over-under was 15 months. Focus on the work, Poppy, Dee urged. You don't want to upset the baby. Why not? She's already asphyxiating her, Sam growled. That is mean and untrue, Pop retorted. But Dee is right. It's important to be serene. Thank you, Poppy. Dee practically blushed. Thank you. I am glad Ruby has you, Dee. You're going to be like a real older sister to her. That's so sweet, because Dee's voice trailed off and fixed her huge eyes on Sam. You don't mind if Ruby Hummingbird has 2 big sisters, do you, Sam? Why would I mind? Sam asked, plotting a strategy as she spoke. As little interest as she had in soon-to-be-born evil spawn, it did tweak her that her stepmother had formed a bond with Dee. Ditzy as Dee might be, she was not about to give up one of her closest friends to the Pop-Tart. Dee, can I talk to you for a sec? And they go talk, and it's not getting to Dee. Dee feels like she has a special connection to this baby. Sam tries on the clothing that she bought yesterday and feels some shame about her body in it and feels like she misses her friend's catty retorts that would have kept her from buying things that would have not looked good on her body. Oh my god, release the page. What made you so efficient? What made you so good at this? Oh, and I never actually finished marking it. She's having a lot of feelings. She wants to talk to her therapist, but she can't because her therapist blows. He doesn't actually blow, but he's too mature for her. Like, I, an adult woman, understand what he is saying to her, but he's not speaking to Sam on her level. He's speaking to her reasonably. So Anna's back. Next day with her folks. Anna nodded as her mother moved off. When Jane was safely in the kitchen, she stared at her father, a question in her eyes. Don't look at me like that, her father demanded. a man who never put his feet up on the coffee table. He kicked them up and leaned back, resting his head against his own palms. Anna shook her head. Something is wrong with this picture. You, like that, Mom. I've never seen her like this. She's almost relaxed. Anna stopped. This is why the word dawned on. The why of this dawned on her. But no, it couldn't be. She cleared her throat, feeling extremely uncomfortable. Where did Mom sleep last night? Suddenly, Jonathan seemed decidedly uncomfortable. He pulled his legs off the coffee table and sat up straight. Here, he replied, leafing through the newspaper that was scattered across the coffee table. But didn't she book a bungalow? Yes. But by the time we got back to the house, she didn't feel like driving all the way to her hotel, so it made more sense for her to stay here. Oh. Without letting herself fill in too many of the details, Anna felt reasonably sure that her mother had not only spent the night in Jonathan's house, but in Jonathan's room. So Anna goes to lunch with Sam, Cammy, Dee, and it is very clear that Cammy is trying to project that they are her and Adam. At the time, things had been so mixed up with Ben. Amazing, as in, well, it was obviously what she meant. So Cammy and Adam were having sex, making love. No, it couldn't be love. Sweet, smart, good guy Adam and Cammy the Viper. Anna knew she had nothing to say about it. She had dropped Adam. At the time, things had been so mixed up with Ben. They were together, and then they weren't, and then they were. She had to tell the truth she had to tell Adam the truth. He was the last guy on the planet who deserved to have a girl cause him pain. But why had she lusted after the bad boy instead of the good guy? Why was nature so perverse? Now she wasn't with either Ben or Adam. So if Adam wanted Cammy, well, Cammy probably couldn't hurt him any more than Anna herself had. She really hated that. Cammy is really trying to project that those two have boned. They have not. Anna goes back to her parents' house to find, as she's thinking about the casual sex of it all, she decided to let discretion rule and opened the enormous black door to the main house. The first thing she saw was a note tucked under a Ming vase in the foyer. Anna, your mother and I took a drive up the coast to San Simon. Please think about doing the Las Casitas trip for me, if only to keep an eye on my associate. You'll only miss a few days of school because of the conference on Friday. You could use a break. Love, Dad. It's fucking. It's literally March. It's February. It's like March, February. She does not need another break. She just got there and then took off a break to go at the end of Blonde. These girls are never in school. Anna calls Ben. She clams up and is stupid. Les could just be with someone you didn't know and would never see again. Anna bolted it right up, almost smiling as a truly daring notion raced through her chronically overactive mind that someone sounded like someone she might meet at a highly upscale, all-inclusive Mexican resort. So she decides to go up there. Sam wakes up. Dee is still at her house guest in the house. Spirits return to where they have unfinished business. There used to be a vintage poster of the 7-year H in our attic. I remember it when I was little. But last week I went to look for it and it was gone. Someone threw it out, that's all. Or maybe Marilyn came back for it, Dee whispered. I heard she didn't like the movie very much. Anyway, I think I know what it all means. This was the beginning to hold a sick fascination for Sam. I'm hanging on every word, Dee. I'm thinking Ruby Hummingbird is the reincarnation of Marilyn Monroe. I don't think so, Dee. Though this is a provocative theory. Listen, have you considered psychotherapy? Because Dee scrunched her face. You don't believe me. Poppy believes me. Of course Poppy believed her. This was just perfect. No wonder Dee wanted to live under the same roof as her new mentor. The two of them could spin off into New Age paradise hand in hand. But Sam decided to work on the grounding her best friend back into reality another time. For now, she shifted to the matter at hand, reclaiming her home, or at least her grandparents' special room. Adam goes and talks to his dad. His dad tells him not to have sex with her unless he loves her and to use protection always. Don't be silly, wrap your willy. The name of this chapter is Turkey Breast Sandwich, which is sending me. I don't know why. Okay, so we have now reached Anna Goes to Mexico arch, where Anna is going to Mexico with a 25-year-old man. Mexico, a place where a girl could safely be who she wanted to be, even if only for a day. The doorbell still hadn't rung, which meant that Lloyd Millar, her father's associate, was already 25 minutes late. When Anna called her dad on Sunday evening to tell him that she decided to go to the resort, his response had been greatly enthusiastic. 10 minutes later, Lloyd had telephoned to make plans to leave on Tuesday. When he considered how long it would take to get to LAX and go through security and fly to Mexico and get a shuttle van to the resort, he'd agreed that they should drive down in his BMW E90 3 Series Roadster. By the time Lloyd showed up, Anna was already waiting for him in front of the house. He was a tall, slim guy, mid-20s, she guessed, with short dark hair and a faux hipster goatee. He wore mirrored wraparound Ray-Bans and a 1950s black and white sports shirt with dice running down the center, and a classic water buffalo sandals. He's the worst! This guy's kind of misogynistic, kind of racist. He's just a guy. He kind of shoots a shot with Anna, but she easily takes him down, and he kind of licks his wounds and does not stick around too hard on it. Thank God. You might be thinking, Megan, you can get rid of Grown Man 3. I cannot get rid of Grown Man 3 yet. God's favorite bookmark is a knife. God's favorite bookmark is a knife. He also has this whole thing for Donald Trump, which, mind you, this book came out in like the early 2000s. Like, they're advertising books that are coming out in 2005. Anna allowed how she felt quite powerful already and preferred to order her own meals. Fortunately, Lloyd had brought a book on tape for the ride. Unfortunately, it was Donald Trump's The Art of the Deal. But at least it allowed Anna to doze off until they reached the border crossing between the United States and Mexico, just north of Tijuana. The hair thing is a ruse, you realize that? Lloyd informed her. She had awakened just in time to hear the New York real estate magnate expound on how he had developed the parcel of real estate that ultimately became the garish Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. I have no idea what you're talking about. The Donald, the hair. He deliberately goes for this weirdo hair thing. The hair makes people think he's got a weak spot. They underestimate him, which he uses to his advantage. I've been studying the guy for years. And this man would become Stephen Miller. Well, that would explain your weird hairy toes. A weak spot. And I thought, I'm gonna skip until they get to... Even with the ridiculous delay at the border, this is still more time efficient than flying. With a smile, oh, he insults a border agent so they get held up. With a smile that was almost human, he turned off the highway and onto a 2-lane road that appeared to have been blacktopped the day before. The white strip down the center was freshly painted. There was a speed limit sign in English that said 10 miles an hour, but no other indication that they were approaching one of the world's most exclusive resorts. Excellent. See the security cameras? Lloyd cocked his head towards a small camera mounting on a tall wooden pole, all camouflaged by lush foliage. Unfortunately, Mexico has had quite a few kidnappings in recent years. Some of the world's biggest power brokers frequent this resort. What they don't need is an unexpected interruption of their vacation. Come on, Anna chided. Americans visit Mexico all the time and don't get kidnapped. You know where the Secretary of State likes vacation? No. How about the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, or Tony Blair? Here? That's why they need security, Lloyd explained. If you motor in, you have to inform the management in advance what you'll be driving. If we just showed up here from out of the blue, they'd meet us at the Bradley They'd meet us in a Bradley fighting vehicle. They get to Las Costaristas. I'm not calling it what it's actually called. Las Costaristas is what I'm going to be calling it. Miss Percy, Mr. Miller, they show up. There's a couple of different hot guys with a hot guy of Caribbean descent and a hot guy of some kind of Pacific Islander Samoan type. Lloyd is like, oh my god, let me protect you from these brutes. She's like, I do not need to be protected. Swoon. At this one guy, she kind of realizes that this is a place for fantasies and that she should be enjoying the fantasy. 45 minutes later, after a refreshing solo swim in the crystalline ocean, Anna was in the lobby. She had asked for a tour of the resort. A guy in his early 20s waiting for her. He looked Hawaiian and very handsome, with dark hair and broad cheekbones. His muscular physique was clad in blue tennis shorts and a white Las Costa Ricas shirt like the one the Valiants wore, except with short sleeves. He wore a name tag introducing himself as Kai. Anna Percy? He asked, striding over to her. Hello, yes. Are you my butler? No, actually, name's Kai. I'll be showing you around. Whoever Kai was, he was gorgeous and had an Australian accent. I was told to look for Regis. Ah, yes, your butler. Apologies. I'm the surfing instructor, filling in for Regis. So, grown man number 3. We have Kai. So they go around, they're flirting. He invites her, she invites him to have dinner with her, and then maybe meet up in her room afterwards. Oh my god, what a bold thing for her to do. Anna, a voice inside her head said, if you aren't at least going to try it, you should go back to Beverly Hills. So today is the day of Poppy's baby shower, and Sam is not feeling great about it. She's just not. Last minute, it gets moved into the Sharp residence, and Sam is just not having it. She goes over to a restaurante. She goes out to a restaurant meeting up with Cammie. Cammie's at a party of a girl from school. Cammie's still feeling self-conscious about having not hooked up with Adam yet, and when the girl is like, oh my god, you're with Adam Fletch, she's like, yeah, he's huge. Which spreads a rumor throughout the rest of the school about how he's packing absolute heat and makes him the big man on campus. Sam shows up at the restaurant where the party's happening because she wasn't originally going to go. Orders a whole bunch of food, then feels self-conscious about it, decides to have all the food sent over to the girl's birthday party, and dips, deciding to find Anna in Mexico. Put this on my tab and give it away to the next person who sits down. Then her face brightened. Better idea. Bring it to Twyla's birthday party and tell them it's a present from Sam Sharp. She'll appreciate it. I know. As Sam was pushed away from the table, she wondered if she was the first person at the Spider Club to tempt fate and then walk away. She was actually proud of herself. One quick wave to Cammie, and Sam was out of there. Okay, so I believe it is the night of, and Anna has dinner with him and has a drink. And I didn't really read this section very closely because it is so cringe. The overarching cringe is that she is a child. She is, if 18, barely 18. She still goes to high school. I do not care if she has early admissions to Princeton. That is someone's baby. Lower umbrella cringe is that she's obviously someone trying to get over a relationship, and it is flopping. She is not getting over that man. And you know what? It happens to the best of us, but she wants so badly to like get to know him and understand him, and she just, that's not what this is about. This is about putting giblets to cooters. She tells off Lloyd so that he stops trying to flirt with her. He's with Debbie from Idaho, and just as cringe. They're literally like skinny dipping in a hot dog, and she's like, I really would like to have sex with you. And he's not gonna force her because he's not trying to lose his job, which I guess I respect. And he's like, this is difficult for you, I'm gonna leave. And puts his pants off and walks away into the night. Crazy. I get the feeling your brain is working overtime, Kai guessed correctly. Alright. It's a character flaw, Anna admitted. Maybe it's a gift. I told you, Anna, I'm cool. How long are you staying at Los Castristas? A few days. So no worries then. Let's just see what happens. Anna nodded. I feel like an idiot. I should tell you, you're being way too hard on me. It's all supposed to be fun, you know? I do, Anna said earnestly. I really do. Then we're good. He kissed her lightly. I can see myself out. Adios. And then Kai stepped out of the tub, pulled on his pants, and drifted away into the night. Bitch, what the fuck? Boner cryptid. I don't care about the Cammie and Adam plotline. It's truly unimportant, but I will read you this line from the top of the chapter after Cammie is like, oh my god, I'm tits all over. I'm tits all over, he's dick all down. Hey Adam, big guy, how they hanging? What? To a stranger? A child! So, everyone thinks Adam has a huge dick and is throwing it around in bed. Alright, it's time for the baby shower. D is an only child. D was an only child. Dee glazed around the ballroom at the Sharps compound and broke into a broad smile. Everything was perfect. Dee was an only child, and it didn't used to bother her. She and Sam and Cammy had been friends for so long that it seemed like they were sisters. But ever since Anna Percy arrived from New York, there had been tension in their trio. So, to be in the bosom of Poppy's family was very precious. The more she thought about it, it was as if Poppy had been sent by divine ordination. The proof of this was Poppy had chosen her to help with the baby preparations. Poppy had even asked Dee to help choose her outfit. You know who's also missing? Wait a minute. Oh my gosh, red fur. That's so wild. Wait until Jackson sees. It's a good thing we'll have 2 baby nurses so we can try these out. Thank you so much, Cammy. The guests applauded enthusiastically for an outrageous gift. Dee had to admit it was just like Cammy to pull out something that no one else could. Like Sam always said, Sam. Wait a minute. Dee scanned the room. Where was Sam? In an attempt to go and have sex with Cammy, Adam spends all his money on a room at a chateau, and then candles, because the lady says you need to have candles in the room, and then he almost sets the room on fire. He doesn't get his money back, and Cammy takes him elsewhere. God, this is 2 chapters worth of bullshit. Anna goes surf learning with Kai. Anna is surf learning with Kai when "Be the wave," Anna echoed dubiously. How zen. It is. Nothing to it but to do it, he grinned. You know, I'd love to kiss you right now. Anna was surprised and flattered. After what I pulled last night, you still want to kiss me? Not on the job, though, Kai teased. But after 6, Anna felt much better. Now she knew for sure that he wasn't mad. She might not understand him, his life, his view. It was so foreign to her, but she was definitely liked him. After 6. Are you sure you want to plan so far in advance? Anna broke off mid-word, squinting past Kai at someone heading their way across the sand. Kai turned around. Unless I'm delusional, that's... Anna! It was Sam Sharp, clad in lamb black bikinis and a baby yellow halter top, jogging the last 100 feet towards her. Anna jumped up and met her halfway and gave her friend a huge hug. Sam, what are you doing here? Slumming! I love her. So Sam decided to get away from it all by escaping to Mexico to go hang out with Anna, the only person who gets her. I love them. I do love them. I would ship them to Sundry Style. They're so fun. They're so cute. Thanks. Avocado. Thanks. Sam appears, and frankly, the plot that I think is so stupid. Again, I do no clue how this writing team works. However, it does. They are not talking before we get to anything. They said, how are we going to get Sam to Mexico? She's just going to go. Okay, what are we going to do when Sam gets there? Vision trip. Sam sees Kai, is like, oh my god, yummy. Sam sees Lloyd, oh my god, loser. Sam and her go off and gallivant. They're having a drink and eating food and enjoying things. And Sam finally feels free enough to let loose and skinny dips. Anna sweeps her arm out. You're a beautiful girl. You've got that beautiful brown wavy hair and those deep brown eyes. And besides, look around. We're in paradise. How can you be obsessed about your thighs in paradise? Because I just ate my weight in soft salt crabs and all I can think about is dessert. Sam peered ruefully, looking down at her stomach. So go for the sugar rush. Seriously, Sam, why wreck the experience of being here? So it's time to be free. It's time to be free. Let loose. Get laid. Adam and Cammy go to Coachella. So Anna. Ooh, my wrist. Anna and Sam go visit a village at La Costa Rica, and they find a beautiful piece of art, and they're like, how are we going to get it home? They're like, don't worry about it. It's really cool. Pin it. Sam asks Anna about Ben, because if they're all being free, why haven't you called him? Sam is like, Ben asked me. He's still into you. He's still thinking about you. And she's like, this is a no Ben zone. I'm trying to lay the white whale that is Kai. There's a dance club. It's 18 plus. Who cares? Oh, Nate here. There. This is where the whatchamacallit happens. Got my shit mixed up. We'll get there. So after dinner, they go to a nude beach, clothing optional. She gets Lloyd to disappear, and Sam was like, "Why is he here?" And Anna's like, "My dad hired him," and she's like, "He should be fired." But his voice stayed absolutely cool as he glazed pointedly at Sam's thighs. Yeah, let all that hostility out, Mary. Remember, it's not what you're eating. It's what's eating you. And then he and his body hair boogied back onto the dance floor. Sam's jaw dropped. He's good. He's an asshole. But he's good. Because no one's a sassier man than a 25-year-old. I'm telling you. It's where the audacity comes from. I see why my dad hired him, Anna commented. Anyway, let's go. Where? Any place that we can't see him. They continued through the clothing optional section past its rows of casitas towards a gaslit path that led down to an all-natural beach. They're far enough away now that for the lagoon, for the music to fade to near nothingness. The beach itself was deserted. No sound but the gentle waves and a lone tropical night bird calling to the moon. By wordless agreement, they kicked off their sandals, left them under a wooden chaise lounge, and walked for another 500 yards. They were past the resort boundary, but they didn't care. This is bliss, Sam said softly. I know. Your dad wasn't upset that you wanted to come to Mexico by yourself? Please. He knows whoever knows where I am, and he could care less. None of them give a shit. The Poppy D Love Fest thing has become nauseating. Wait, wasn't Poppy's baby shower today? Yeah, so? You didn't go? Sam shook her head and splashed ankle deep into the warm Pacific. Nope, and I'm a better woman for it. Poppy loathes me. She'd wish I'd go off to college already, preferably someplace in the Antarctic. And I loathe her. She has no boundaries, no sense that she's coming into a family. She talks baby talk to my father. I was supposed to go to her baby shower and gush over a little sister that I wish I never had. I see your points. Plus, she made Dee her new surrogate daughter. Believe me, no one at that shower even realized I was gone. Sam raised her arm to the sky. As a choice between that hell and this paradise, there is no comparison. I could stay here forever. Anna smiled. Nothing gold can stay. We're quoting Robert Frost. It's the first poem I memorized. I love it. They go skinny dipping. They're bopping away. Anna waited after her. Ooh, the water's so warm. I love it here, Sam shouted and then flipped onto her back to gaze at the stars. I love it too. A male voice from out of the murky darkness of the ocean. Startled and frightened a bit, Sam whirled to find the source of the voice. There it was, about 30 feet away in a small wooden pinga boat. Though she couldn't see the boat's pilot, probably a British fisherman, she reasoned he was definitely male, and she was most definitely naked. Get away, you pervert, because she's a child. She dropped down into the water until it covered her to the chin as her mind raced. He was probably some guy who worked at the resort and cruised out at night. He probably had infrared goggles. What a sleazelord. Had he seen her naked? Probably. I mean it, dickweed. Fuck off. She watched the small rowboat move out to sea. She and Anna were alone once more, but the magic of the moment was gone. Just like that, paradise found was paradise lost. Paradise? Paradise found was paradise lost. Looking at cell phones, all that, and then the British voice reappears, and Sam looked up and froze. She put two and two together. She recognized the profile of the guy and thought she recognized the voice too. It was the man from the boat last night, and the one who had seen her naked during her not-so-skinny dipping. He was tall, dark, and with high cheekbones, and a grin that showed off twin dimples. Shit! Like last night in the dark humiliation wasn't enough. Now she had to face the asshole in broad daylight, and to see that he was good-looking too. More Latin than London. But still, he took a step towards the table and extended his hand to Sam. I'm Eduardo Menunez. Menunez. A guest here at this hotel. Anna offers to have him join. Sam is not so trustworthy of a man. He offers her flatteries in Latin-loving style, and she's just like, I'm unsure. Screw him, Sam thought, hurrying away from the table. Screw his phony attention. And double screw him for having seen her naked. Anna was left at the table with Eduardo. She felt a little ridiculous. I apologize for my friend. So back in LA, Jackson Sharp always appreciated returning to his Bel Air estate after a time away. It reassured him of how rich and successful he was. This villa, with its tennis courts, pool, 3 guest house, and formal gardens, and 10,000 square feet of living space was tangible proof. He knew that Hollywood was a hornet's nest. He couldn't ignore the recent whispers that he was past his prime. He was just like Harrison Ford and Robert Redford before him. He was already on the downward slope of stardom. Though, it was Hollywood blood sport to take shots at a person on the top of the heap and to knock them down just for kicks. Jackson knew all he had to do was stave off the inevitable before he joined Ford and Redford and even Eastwood. It was the land of weren't they once handsome and somebody? That day, he hoped, was years away. Right now, all he could still do was open a movie, no matter how dreadful. Not only in LA, but in France and Mexico and Tel Aviv and Bombay, thus making a bargain. The $20+ million, that was his current quote. He worked hard, not just when he was on set, but with publicity. It was why he went to Chicago to do Oprah, and why he was on Jay Leno that night. His appearance was promoted heavily, and Leno, a personal friend, they love to compare car collections, had made the rare gesture of inviting pregnant Poppy and Sam to join Jackson on his show. So they're supposed to be on Leno tonight. So he comes home and is like, we're going on Leno. It's great. Don't worry about it. And then he's like, lovely wife, where is my daughter? And she's like, I don't know. She's probably being a bitch somewhere. And he's like, wrong answer, forehead. And thus, he then is like, shit, where is my daughter? Poppy and Dee traded looks with one another. What? Jackson asked. Don't tell me she's planning on wearing leather chaps. Poppy bit her lower lip. I don't know exactly. Then find out. There's a teensy little problem, Dee chimed in. Which is? Dee shrugged, a helpless little girl shrug. Sam isn't here. Jackson didn't understand. Well, then call her. We did, Poppy said, a bunch of times. But it goes right through to voicemail. We left a million messages. Jackson looked disgruntled. So where is she? Poppy bit her lower lip. That's the problem, sweetie. She wasn't at the baby shower, and we haven't seen her at all. The Jeep's gone too. How could she not have been at the baby shower? Jackson asked, incredulous. You know Sam, Dee said. She probably tried on a million outfits and decided she looked awful in all of them due to her low self-esteem, so she didn't show up. I feel terrible about this. It's not your fault, Jason rubbed his chin. His first thought was family appearance on Jay Leno's show that night. Damn it, Sam better not fuck this up. Are you all saying she didn't come home last night at all? No, Dee replied. I kept checking her room. But she stayed out all night before, sweetie, Poppy reminded Jackson. Like if she's with Cammy or something. This was true. He realized Dee and Poppy were probably right. Sam had tried on a million outfits for the shower yesterday and decided she was fat and blown it off. Then she had spent the night drinking in one of the clubs she went to all the time. Maybe she hadn't made it back to the main house after that. Have you checked the guest houses? Empty. How about Cammy? She wasn't there either. Shit. There was his second opinion. Track her down for me, okay, Dee? You know who her friends are. Because if we're live at 8:30 at NBC, lies where I would have stopped it. Because if we're live at 8:30 at NBC in Burbank, she has to be. Oh my god, alright. Cammy is attempting to enter the bone zone at her house when she ends up getting flagged down. They're in the shower. Things are getting hot and heavy. When Dee pops up and is like, we can't find Sam. Sam hated how she looked in her tennis dress, even if it was Lily Pulitzer. But she vowed not to dwell on the negative. She was still in Los Costaristas paradise. She wasn't going to bring herself down with Beverly Hills stink. So her tennis lesson is supposed to be with a pro, the same way Anna's getting surf taught by Kai. But it ends up being Eduardo. And they play a little bit, and they have a bit of banter, a little cheeky bant. And he invites her to go have dinner with him at this island with horses. And it's romantic. A 15-minute gentle canter north on the beach from the resort brought them to an unspoiled expanse of palm trees and brilliant white sand. Sam thought that Eduardo had wanted to show her a gorgeous deserted beach. Fair enough. But instead of stopping, Eduardo urged his horse into the ocean. It splashed through the calm, foot-deep brine towards a small island a few hundred yards away. Before Sam could say it or do anything, her horse plunged into the warm water too. A minute or two later, they were ashore. Eduardo had led the way through the underbrush to a hoof-beaten trail and then to a clearing. Sam's mouth dropped open when she saw what was in the center of the clearing, a linen-covered table for two, with wicker chairs and a beach umbrella shielding it all from the sun. On the table was a pitcher of iced margaritas and lemonade and tostadas, fresh oysters on the half shell, and a basket of baked rolls right out of the oven. The wonderful odor wafted through the air in a giant, succulent strawberry. Do you have a hidden love for romance novels? He's earnest and she's sardonic. That's why it works, baby. We get to add something to the board. We got Sam and her girl crush Anna, and we can finally add Eduardo. I did not spell that correctly. I'll spell it correctly later. They are linked up real cute style. I'm determined to finish this tonight. Dobby wishes to be free. Eduardo is from the Peruvian royal family, and it's a democracy, and his daddy's still like a business politician man, and he's very fancy. Equally as fancy as Sam, and thus he can't be wooed by her fanciness. Eduardo then leaned across the table, took her hand and kissed it. It wasn't lame or corny at all. It was sweet and sincere, and from Sam's point of view, absolutely amazing. But even more amazing was what he said when he moved her hand from his warm lips. Sam, may I say one more thing to you? She nodded. Just this. He gazed into her eyes. Say less, buddy. Finally, Anna and Sam end up in the village. They're wandering around. They find the wood sculpture. They're like, oh my god, we don't have any cash or pesos. They're like, don't worry about it. Put it on my tab at the hotel. I'm gonna buy it, ship it back to the Americas. They are feeling so excited. Eduardo has a date for them planned at 6, and Anna has a thing with Kai once she gets back. I think it's the right turn, Anna said, pointing towards a narrow side street that went downhill. They followed the street and turned left, right, and left again, and finally came upon El Torado by accident. They tried the front door, but it was locked. So much for adventure, Anna said. No one's here. Should we go back to the town square? Sam shook her head and pointed across the street. Isn't that a restaurant? The place was called Los Molinos. The exterior was nondescript. A wooden gray door with a hand-painted sign, and the menu was tacked onto it. A glass window with hand-painted lettering announcing the name of the restaurant and Bueno Comido. Service fria. Good food, cold beer. They crossed the street and tried the door. Tinkling bells signaled their entrance. They get in there. Muy bien, the waiter beamed happily. We make our own tapas and our own mezcal also. He kissed the tips of his fingers, indicating how well they had been chosen, then hustled behind the bar and told the bartender to prepare what they ordered. She fired a sullen look at Sam and Anna before getting to work. So mezcal. Anna felt uneasy. That's on my long list of new experiences. I might try someday, maybe. Kind of like tequila, but stronger. Made from mezcal cactus. I crossed it off of mine when I was 14 at this party in Topanga Canyon. Sam recalls, this guy who was a junior at Harvard Westlake showed me how to down a shot straight up. He said it made girls sexy. Pathetically enough, I downed 7 of them. Cammy rescued me. Anna raised her eyebrows. When I think emergency, I don't think of calling Cammy Shepherd. Sam rubbed her finger along the edge of the rough-hewn table. Yeah, well, she'll fool you now and then. Anyway, I'd say now's the perfect time to cross it off. Moments later, an elderly waiter returned with a brown bottle, 2 brown shot glasses, and a plate of tapas and bottled water. Enjoy, he said with a slight bow, then retreated back to the soccer game. Sam did the honors of pouring a generous shot of mezcal into Anna's glass and then her own. Anna peered into the bottle from the top. Do you know that they have put moth larvae in the bottom? In the bottle. And that once it dies, they know the alcohol content is sufficient? Well, that's certainly different from the way Cristal is made, Sam declared, raising her glass. We should christen your mezcal drinking experience with a toast to new experiences. Anna decided and clinked her glass against Sam. She watched Sam down her shot in one swallow. Then she did the same. Instantly, her throat was on fire. I love shooting tequila. Shooting tequila's fun. I love doing shots in any form. It's real fun. So, I don't know. Call me an alcoholic. You do like 1 or 2 shots and then you sit down and you eat crack. Whew. They have the mezcal. Anna accidentally eats the moth. She starts robo-tripping. Sam then downs more shots to join her. And they enjoy tapas in Mexico. They accidentally wander out of the restaurant and now they're staring at lizards. Hey Anna, check out this lizard right here. Sam points to a large iguana that was sunning itself on a large sandstone. Come here, Bill. She held out her hand towards the reptile. It didn't move. Anna flew across the sandy landscape towards Sam. At least that's what it felt like if she were flying. She'd been utterly captivated by a purple desert wildfire that had sprouted from the side of a cactus. In fact, she had gotten her nose practically inside the flower to examine it, amazed by the striations and the curves on its interior. How much time had passed since they had left the restaurant? Anna wasn't sure. A couple of hours, maybe? Knowing how wasted they were from the mezcal, they had every intention of going directly from the restaurant to the town square to hang until the van arrived. But at the end of the alley behind Los Molinos, Sam had spotted the trail that headed off into the Mexican desert, and she had convinced Anna that they ought to take the scenic detour. That detour extended as the girls, fascinated by everything they saw, strolled deeper and deeper into the wild, barren lands. Sam, how do you know his name is Bill? Consider them shit-faced. They are talking to lizards and having a good time. Throw their personal effects into the desert, which is my favorite time capsule of how old these books are, is the fact that they're just like, I don't need this cell phone, and it's fine. And it's fine. So they missed dinner with Edward and all sorts of things. That's easy. Oh my god. Anna looked down at her wrist. No watch. I had a watch, didn't I? I think so, yeah. Sam stood up and stomped a little bit. Whoa. That was some intense mezcal. Check the time on your cell. Anna reached into her bag for her cell. No cell. But Sam didn't have a watch or a cell either. I think we need to go back to town. Oh, okay, Anna said, and as she stood up. Sure, Sam agreed. Sounds good. Which way? Anna looked behind her and then to the right and to the left. She had absolutely no idea of the direction from which they had come, and it was getting darker by the moment. I don't know. Do you? I think we're stuck, Anna realized. We can't be stuck. We just have to figure out how we got here. That's easy. We walked. The comments started them both laughing, which was interrupted by the slash of lightning in the sky behind them, and then seconds later, thunder. Thunder. That means rain. Not yet, though that's good. An instant later, another lightning-thunder combination. Not good. We need a plan. Shelter. So they literally find a building, because the plot protects these white girls. They circled a low building and looked for a way in. It was about the size of the largest of the guest house at the Sharp estate in Beverly Hills. But it didn't appear to have a door. Finally, they came to what was obviously a garage door. Anna tried it. It wasn't locked. She flung it open and it rolled back easily. The girls stepped inside, and as they did, a bank of automatic overhead lights came on. Whoa, check this out. They were indeed in a garage. One that housed 5 cars, a pearl gray 1932 Rolls Royce, a cherry red Ferrari, a yellow Lotus, a black metallic blue DeLorean, and a classic black Ford Model T, perfectly restored. All of them had Mexican license. So they end up just hanging out there for a while. Back to LA, Jackson Sharp is like, oh my god, where is my child? He finally, after flopping about for enough, gets a hold of Anna's dad. Sorry, Jason paced more until his cell phone rang. He flipped it open. It was Kiki, who had finally tracked down the father of Sam's new friend from New York. She announced that she had Jonathan Percy on a 3-way at the bed and breakfast in San Simeon. When Jackson told Jonathan what was going on, Jonathan reported that his daughter Anna was at the Los Costa Ristas resort in Mexico. Bingo. Jackson asked Jonathan to call his daughter and to see if Sam was there too. A few minutes later, Jonathan's phone rang back. Good news. I think your Sam is with my Anna. One of my junior execs is at Los Costa Ristas and says that Anna was with his friend who called herself Mary Poppins. Double bingo. Jackson remembered that when Sam was little, she adored the movie Mary Poppins, so much that she insisted that her family hire a British nanny. Then he insisted that Jackson fire the nanny because she couldn't fly. Back in Mexico, Edward was like, oh my god, the girl, I'm late. She's missing. 7 o'clock. She's late. She's gone. Oh no. But then the resort surfing instructor, Eduardo couldn't recall his name, but he had taken an excellent lesson with him a couple of days before, strode into the lobby, obviously looking for someone. Get stood up? Eduardo asked, only half joking. Kai looked at Eduardo closely. Didn't I see you this morning with Anna Percy and her friend? Edward nodded. We were supposed to have dinner at 7, but she's not in her house, and she's not here either. I was supposed to meet Anna for sushi at 7, but she's a no-show too. She strikes me as the prompt type. I've looked everywhere for her. So everyone's like, oh shit, the girls are missing. They're like, oh my god. Several hundred miles north, there is a knock on Jackson's door. Kiki stuck her head in. We have to leave for the studio if we're going to make it to the taping. Jackson peered in the mirror over his dresser and brushed some lint off the collar of his jacket. Christ, what a mess. Where are her friends? Dee's in her room. Adam and Cammy are watching TV downstairs. They say they're not going home until we hear from Sam. Jackson turned to Kiki. That's nice anyway. He shook his head. How can she be so damn flaky? What the hell am I paying that quack Dr. Fred for anyway? How can I... His phone rang. The landline. Not a sub. He picked it up. Yeah? Mr. Jackson, sure? Jackson didn't recognize the British accented male voice. Who's calling? He asked wryly. Sometimes the oddest people manage to unearth his unlisted home phone number. My name is Eduardo Menendez, and I am friends with your daughter Samantha. We met here at Los Costa Ricos resort in Mexico. Where is my daughter? That is why I'm calling, sir. I don't work for the resort. I'm a friend. Quickly, Eduardo filled Jackson in on the few facts he knew. What do you mean they're missing? I don't mean to alarm you. Perhaps the girls are off having a marvelous time. Perhaps not. Because, you know, we pin it on the wall that they're like, oh my god, no one gets kidnapped. They didn't get kidnapped, so I didn't read that as that when I was going back through this. But that is what they were setting up. They're like, oh my god, they're in Mexico. They're going to get kidnapped because they're pretty little white girls. They're not going to get kidnapped because they're pretty little white girls. They're going to get kidnapped because they're stupid. So now they go flying into a rage, and Poppy is like, oh my god, we can go to Jelena without Sam. It's fine. And he's like, I'm going to Mexico. So he's going to Mexico. So they get into the house, and they're just bopping around. There are no cameras, supposedly. Nothing seems to be, like, putting them in immediate danger. So they were just like, I'm just gonna bop around. And so they just bop around. They're in hot tubs, they're drinking some more things, eating food. They take showers and put on silky robes. The house is very decked out. It's hard for me to read this as a kidnapping allegory when everything is so cozy and cutesy. How could anything be wrong? They check the telephone lines. They're not connecting. So they can also safely be assured that there's not going to trigger a security system when they don't speak the greatest Spanish. They dance around and declare that true love does not exist, even with Ben. Maybe it does. Who cares? He's not in this book. Back in LA, Jackson and his Gulfstream helicopter private jet pack up all of our main characters into the jet to head to Mexico. Dee and Cammy reminisce on the first time that they flew in this with Sam because they're all besties, even when they fight. Linked up besties. Wow, Dee was impressed. Maybe Cammy's Yisatova was at work too, or else Adam was improving Cammy's personality. Still, she didn't doubt for a moment that Cammy was really worried that Anna was competition for her with Adam, that if Anna wanted Adam back, she could get him quicker than Dee could whip out her MasterCard at the trashy lingerie on La Cienega Boulevard in Hollywood, which meant that deep in Cammy's heart of hearts, it was Yisahara all the way. Cammy probably hoped that Sam would be found and Anna wouldn't. Dee couldn't decide how she felt about finding Anna. Anna had stolen her place on Sam's A-list, and that was for sure. Anna had also stolen the boy they all wanted, Ben Birnbaum. And then she had dropped him too. A girl that fickle deserved whatever the gods dished out to her. Well, if Anna wasn't found, there would probably be a memorial service. Dee could wear her black Pamela Rodin wrap dress and her new Alberto Fineri slingback pumps with leopard print lining. She'd keep her makeup really pale, maybe with a touch of MAC Purr lip gloss. Or maybe she'd buy all new stuff to honor Anna's memory. Not that Dee wanted anything really bad to happen to Anna. That would truly be bad karma. But she figured she should cover all of her fashion bases, just in case. Anna wakes up sleeping under mink and also is hungover And there are alarms, and there are men in the house. She looked around the dimly lit room as she heard Sam snore next to her. That's right. They were in the lavish master bedroom of the estate they had discovered the night before during the storm. Ornate hand-painted tiles bordering the room and hand-knotted rugs rested on the burnished wood. She glanced straight up and saw herself in the mirror. Sam curled up to her left, right mirrored ceiling. Ouch! Her hand went to her head. She had the worst headache, and she saw now that she looked as bad as she felt. Well, the first things first, get up and check the telephones to see if they were working, and wait. Had she heard something? Voices in the house. She froze, listening carefully. 2 of them, male, gruff, Spanish, coming closer to the bedroom. Anna jostled Sam awake. Sam twirled and rolled over. The voices got louder. Anna shook Sam again. Wake up now. Someone's here and we're naked. So, Anna uses her passable bad Spanish to try and tell them that, oh my god, I'm so sorry. We did not mean to be here. Ella se llama Sam Sharp. Su papa llama Jacob Sharp. El gran hombre norteamericano despacito F.A. My dad is Jackson Sharp. It did not work. Sam starts doing it in English. Still not working. Rifles at their back and blankets and shawls wrapped around them, the girls edged out of bed. They shuffled to the bathroom and changed quickly as they could. Fortunately, their clothing had dried out overnight. We are so fucked, Sam muttered darkly. Ashley pulled on her Mexican skirt. Tell them in Spanish who I am, Anna. They have tried that. That has not worked. They are moving around. They want him to get into a Hummer. They hear an aircraft from above. And guess who it is? Jackson Sharp. They're like, oh my god, I missed you. Oh my god, everyone misses Sam. We love Sam. Everything's good for Sam. They're all giggly and talking and like reminiscing. They go to Las Costa Rica, los Costaristas. They have, she meets up with Eduardo. He's like, I really like you. I'd like to continue seeing you. I'd love to talk to you some more. And she's like, cool, because he goes to school in Spain. Lloyd is like, shit, girl, do not get me fired. Lloyd is just like a weird dude about it, but it's Kai and Anna kind of say their goodbyes because this is fleeting. Don't call me. We're nothing. We were flirting at a result. White Lotus. Sam spends the flight back on the Gulf Stream with the girlies chit-chatting, and Anna's really, really wistful. The flight from Mexico to Van Nuys Airport was just over an hour. She was the first person down the steps from the plane, and the first person she saw there was her father, who stood at the edge of the tarmac. This was no surprise. She had called him from Las Costa Ricas, and he had promised to meet her at Van Nuys. But he appeared standing alone in jeans and a wool sweater, just outside of the utilitarian concrete building that served as the airport's terminal. He was a little was a little shocking. There was a day's growth of stubble on his chin, and there were bags under his eyes. He looked exhausted. Anna. He hugged her hard. You scared the hell out of us. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. She peered around and just where's the other half of us? Jonathan rubbed his chin. Long story. Your mother, just a sec. Anna saw Jackson, Sam. Excuse me, Dad, you never actually met Sam's father. They introduced each other. I can't thank you enough, Jonathan told Jackson. All's well that ends well, huh? That was crazy at that age myself. Yeah, Jonathan agreed. And they shared a chuckle at their misbegotten youth. Listen, I want to thank you for going there right away. I tried to, but anyway, thanks. No problem, Jackson replied, smoothing over Jonathan's discomfort. Glad to help. You've got a ride back over the hill? Great. And you know my daughter really thinks a lot of your daughter, and now that I've spent some time with her, I can see why. They do handshakes. Anna's like, can we go? I'm a little tired. Can we go, Dad? Anna asked, wondering why they were still standing around on the tarmac. I'm a little tired. Actually, we've got to chill, Jonathan said. I've sent Django over to deliver some papers to a client in Studio City. Since we were in the neighborhood, he should be back soon. He'll pick us up in the front. He shook his head. Can't deal with the terminal in this airport. The airport is so damn ugly and depressing. Anna longed for a hot bath and a nap before Sam's party, but it wouldn't kill her to hang out for a while. Fine. Where do you want to wait? In front, her dad decided. He took her luggage and they walked through the ramshackle terminal through the front doors. Her father had it right. The place could use a renovation. So what happened down there? Anna sighed. She was really tired and definitely not in the mood to give him a blow-by-blow. We took a walk. We got lost in the desert, and that's all. Hey, don't make light of this, her father chided. You put a whole lot of people out. I didn't mean to, and I wasn't making light of it, Anna protested. Jonathan shook his head. It doesn't add up. You are the most responsible person I know. Well, this time it didn't work out, Anna said flatly, her voice colder than she intended. It had to be because she was so exhausted. Jonathan regarded this carefully. You're pissed at me. No. Yeah, you are. But I'm not the one who screwed up here, Anna. Would you take off the glasses so I can see who I'm talking to? Anna pushed the glasses into her hair. As she did, she realized her father had never answered her original question. She began realizing something else, too. I was just thinking, she began. When we went to meet Susan's plane, you made such a big deal about the three of us at the airport, and now I'm here. But where's Mom? Her father gazed at his suede Calvin Klein driving mocks, unable to meet Anna's eyes. Milan, probably. He finally uttered, Who knows with her? Anna shook her head. I don't understand. 3 days into our trip down memory lane, we both remembered why we can't stand each other. He looked up at her again. She had me drop her off at the Santa Barbara airport. A private jet roared down the runway and into the sky. Jonathan gazed upwards, following its flight with the blue yonder, then smiled sadly. I wish he could just fly away, Anna. Oh, wait. You just did. He looked so wistful. One part of Anna felt sorry for him. He'd obviously been hurt by his ex-wife's abrupt departure, but another part of him couldn't believe his naivety. Did you really think that some quick romance with Mom would make it all better? Anyway, after she was gone, I just needed some time alone to think. He ran his hand through his already mussed hair. There's just so much damn pressure now. Your mother only added to it. It was always someone else's fault with them both, Anna thought. She had no doubt that her mother, wherever she was complaining about the pressure and blaming the whole mess on her father. Ah, so it's so much clearer now, Anna commented, her tone chillier than before. Jonathan pointed at her. You sound just like Jane. Then a thought flittered across his face. Did anything bad happen in Mexico? With Lloyd, maybe? He's a quirky guy. Brilliant, but quirky. Her dad accuses her of having an attitude and is real sassy with her, considering she was just kidnapped on a job that he sent her on. Oh my god. I'm sorry, he muttered as he pushed the handkerchief back into his pocket. Shit, Anna. What do you want me to say? I know I've sucked as a father in the past. I want to change all that. Which he said 4 books ago. Those are just words, Dad. He looked defeated, arms dangling. Yeah, I guess so. Anna found a Kleenex and wiped her eyes and blew her nose. She struggled for composure. The thing is, Dad, I figured out how things work in your world. Great. Explain it to me. Everyone's expendable. Mom, Margaret, Susan. She swallowed the lump in the back of her throat. And me. Her father leaned forward and touched her arm. Never you, Anna, I swear. Which is fucked up because Susan's also his daughter. The lump in her throat welled back up. Then why didn't you come for me? I'm sorry, Anna. I'm so damn sorry. You pitiful little bitch. He held out her arm to her. She let him comfort her, and she told herself that he was right, that they are right now, even if he hadn't come to Mexico. But the image of Jackson Sharp striding towards Sam to save the day is forever etched into Anna's mind. With all her heart, she wished it had been her father, jumping down from the helicopter to rescue her. But like so many of her wishes when it came to her family, she knew this one was never going to come true. That's frankly the end of the book. They go to a party. Everyone's dating. Everyone's great. It's fun. Sam gets a boyfriend. But that's fucked up. We have to change the parent ranking and finally wrap this shit up. Shitbag boy. Shitbag fail father. We have absolutely dubious Jackson Sharp. Actually, you know what? He's earned 4th place. We've got actual murderer, Cammy's dad. We have not so bad Jackson Sharp. And lastly, we have just plain neglectful Dee's dad. Jesus of Nazareth. I read that book. I finished that book back in September. I've just been very busy the last forever. I think we're actually going to get back on track. Golly gee Wally, Miss Molly. This one, I had a really hard time reading it in the moment. I don't know. This one just really dragged. I found all the sections with Lloyd and Cammy and Adam to be so cringe. I was really invested in Anna and Sam's sections, except for if it involved Lloyd and anything having to do with Kai. I don't particularly want Anna to end up with Ben. I'm pretty sure she will. I don't particularly want her to. But watching her attempt to force, like, some people are just monogamous, and that's okay. But her trying to be this fun, flirty person who's different than she is because she's on vacation was so cringe. Loved Sam getting a love interest. I loved Anna and Sam's friendship. I love them getting lost in the woods, and it's like absolutely dream statey as it is. It was really fun. I really enjoyed that section. I'm up to Some Like It Hot. I'm gonna start whatever the next one is tonight because I didn't want to boot out everything that was in here to start this next book, but it's what happened. Yeah. You can find me anywhere at Megan_Blush. On all socials. I'm here talking about dolls and teen books, and I'm really having a good time with it. I'm really cooking. I'm in my cooking mama era. I'm hoping to be talking about some more TV shows. I've been watching One Tree Hill. I'm gonna hopefully get this next Dawson's Creek video done soon, so that will be up. Alright. Bye, guys. Bye.